Hi friends, my name's Caroline and today I'm going to teach you how to do one of the most classic camp crafts out there, which is a friendship bracelet. So the pattern I chose for today is called a chevron, or I call it a V because it has all of these V-shaped stripes all down it, and this is the finished product when it's all done. But first I'm going to show you how to prep all of the strings to get the bracelet all set up, and then I'll go into making the bracelet. So the first step in making a friendship bracelet is picking your colors. So for today's bracelet, I just did 3 colors. I chose black, white, and green. And this is a pretty thin bracelet because I only have 3 colors, and B, I only have 2 strands per color. So for this bracelet, you need a minimum 2 strands per color, but beyond that, you can do whatever you want. You can have 15 colors, you can have 2 colors, but like 5 strands per color. Really whatever you want. If you want a thinner bracelet, fewer strands, thicker bracelet, more strands. That's the basic rules about that, but otherwise you can do whatever you want. And so now we're gonna measure the strands. So to measure the strands, it's super simple. The only requirement is that all your strands are the same length. And there's no rulers or anything in this. All you need is an arm. So when I measure a friendship bracelet string, I hold the free end in one hand and I kind of put it in the middle of my chest, I guess, Adam's apple, if you have an Adam's apple. And then I just, with the other hand, pull the string until my arm's fully extended, and that is 1 strand of string. And then I keep holding on to this end, the folded end, and just basically make 2 strands but fold in half, if that makes sense. So this is 2 strands, but there's going to be a loop, a loop at the top. So that the end, the bracelet has a loop, which makes it easier to tie. Okay, and now I'm just gonna do that for the rest of the colors. Okay, so now I have measured out all 3 of my colors. So I have my green, my black, and my white. So I put all of them together, and you'll see I have now 3 loops at the top. And all I'm gonna do is make a knot at the top, approximately this long. You just need room to tie the bracelet. So I'm gonna probably do it around there, this ballpark. This is not an exact science at all, which is the best kind of science. All right, I'm just gonna make a nice little knot. Perfect. So now I have a big loop at the top to tie, and then I have all of my string down here. So you'll see now that it's knotted, I have 2 green strands, 2 white strands, and 2 black strands. So now I'm gonna get into how to do the stitches of making the bracelet. Alrighty, so here's the bracelet all ready to go. I'm gonna start on the left side of the bracelet, and I'm gonna pick which color I wanna come first in the pattern. So for this bracelet, I chose black, green, white as my pattern. So I'm gonna take the furthest left black string, and I'm gonna make a 4 over the string right next to it, which is the green strand. So I'm gonna make a 4, pull the tail through the inside of the 4, and then now that the black strand is on top, I'm gonna pull it all the way up to the knot as tight as it can go. The key to any friendship bracelet is making every knot super, super tight. And each color you do, you're gonna do 2 stitches on. So I'm gonna do 2 stitches on this green strand, and then I'm gonna put it aside, and then I'm gonna do 2 stitches on the white strand. So after you do 2 stitches on every strand, you put it to the side because that strand is gonna be next in the pattern. So the whole time you're doing your bracelet, your pattern will be consistently set up for you. So once I do 2 stitches on each of the left side strands, I'm going to move on to the right side, and this is what's going to make the stripe into a V shape. So I'm going to start the same way I did the left side with the furthest black strand, but this time I'm going to do a reverse 4. So it looks like a 4, but in the mirror, and I'm going to do the same system of pulling it through the middle of the 4 and then pulling it up as tight as I can all the way to the top of the knot, again making the bracelet as tight as possible. Another important thing to note about making this bracelet is that it should always be symmetrical. So whenever you go to start a new stripe in your pattern, the left side and the right side should look like a mirror image of each other. So once I have done 2 stitches on each of my right side strands, I now have both black strands are in the center right next to each other, and I'm going to connect these to complete one black V-shaped stripe. And all I do is the same as what I've been doing before. I do 2 stitches with these 2 black strands. You can either do the regular 4 like on the left side or the reverse 4 like on the right side. For this bracelet, I did the reverse 4 twice with these 2 black strands, and I keep them in the middle right next to each other. So now I'm set up to do the next stripe in the pattern, which is the green. So here is the bracelet after I've done a couple of stripes. I hope that this will give a closer look at how to do the stitches. So I'm going to start with the furthest left strand, which is the black strand. And notice how it is conveniently already there as it is the next color in the pattern. So I'm going to do 2 4s on the green strand right next to it. And again, I'm making a 4 just over the green strand, pulling the tail through the middle and then pulling up as tight as I can, making it super, super tight. And then I do 2 stitches on the green strand, put it aside, and then do 2 stitches on the white strand and put it aside. So notice how when I put that green strand to the side, that green strand is now on the outside because that's going to be the next stripe in my pattern. So your bracelet will always be set up in the pattern that you originally created. So now that I've done 2 stitches on each of my left side strands, my black strand is in the middle, and now I can move on to the right side. So remember, on the right side, you do the reverse 4. So my black strand is going to be on top. Whenever stripe you're working on, I'm doing a black stripe in this example, that is the strand that's going to be on top and used to make the 4. So I make a 4 with the black stripe on top of the green, because then the black will show up on the bracelet. Also, in this video, I am using a bulletin board to tack up the bracelet just for filming purposes, but usually when I do a friendship bracelet, I just tape it to whatever surface I'm sitting at. I also like taping it to my water bottle because then I can carry it around and do it wherever I want to. And now that I've done 2 stitches on each of my right side strands, I'm again left with 2 black strands right next to each other in the middle, and this will give you a closer look of how to connect the middle to finish one V-shaped stripe. So again, I'm going to make a backwards 4, put the tail through the middle, and then pull the top strand all the way up to the top. So the 4 is done with the top strand, and you're going to pull that strand all the way to the top. And again, I'm making sure everything is super, super tight. And now I'm ready to do the next stripe in the pattern. So now that I've done my bracelet to the length that I want it, I'm going to show you how to finish the bracelet. So you're going to take the ends of your bracelet and you're going to split it into 2 sections. And then you're going to braid those sections individually, so you end up with 2 braided tails. You want your braids to be about this long, and then you're going to knot it at the end of it. You want to make sure you have enough room to tie your bracelet onto your wrist. So I've braided the left side, now I'm going to braid the right side and knot that one as well. And this is my finished bracelet. So you can see at the end I have my 2 braided tails and I just cut off the excess. So to tie on the bracelet, you just put 1 braid through the loop, pull it as tight as you can, and then tie the 2 braids together. I got some help with this for filming purposes, but you can always tie the knot by yourself. I just hold one of the braids in my teeth and then pull the other one as tight as I want with my other hand. And here is the finished product. Alrighty friends, so that's the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I also hope you end up trying it out for yourselves. Remember, friendship bracelet making is not an exact science at all, which is what makes it so relaxing. It's perfect for before bed or a rainy day, or if you wake up really early in the morning, or whatever time of day you want to do your bracelet. I hope that you're all staying safe and healthy and are enjoying your summer.